The Slam Dunk for Diabetes basketball camp was born in 2003 during a simple conversation between a diabetes educator and her patient. Now, Chicagoan Monica Joyce, she had no idea who her new patient was when she started telling her about this crazy idea she had for a basketball camp for kids with diabetes. Now, she said she was even thinking about taking her idea to the Chicago Bulls, but wasn't sure how. Now, her patient, who had been listening attentively, sat up and said, "That's a great idea. Write it up, and I'll give it to Bob." "Who's Bob?" asked Monica. "Bob's my husband," said the new patient. "He's on the board of the Chicago Bulls. And he'll give it to Jerry." "Who's Jerry?" "Jerry Reinsdorf. He owns the Bulls." Well, Jerry said yes. And soon, Monica had a message on her answering machine from Larry Stewart, director of the Chicago Bulls Training Academy. This is Larry Stewart. I was told to call you about some basketball camp for diabetes. I don't know anything about diabetes, but I know a lot about basketball." This is remarkable. It turned out Larry lived just a few blocks away from Monica, as did Moses Cheeks, another new patient of Monica's, who just happened to be the father of former NBA star and current NBA coach, Maurice Cheeks. It was starting to look like the camp was going to happen, whether Monica wanted it to or not. Well, the three neighbors began a series of long nights at Monica's kitchen table, taking the Slam Dunk camp from idea to reality. Monica's only rule: the guys had to come over before she was in her pajamas. Well, with no template, but a great deal of determination, the first Slam Dunk camp came to Chicago in August of 2004. 9 years and dozens of camps later, the Slam Dunk basketball camp has become the joy of kids from Illinois, North Carolina, Colorado, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, New York City, Mississippi, and one boy from Serbia who found Slam Dunk on the internet. Now, his family flew to Chicago via Orlando. And after camp, he said with the utmost sincerity that Slam Dunk was more fun than Disney World. But unlike Disney World, the Slam Dunk camp is free. It's open to all kids from the age of 5 to 18, with all skill levels, rich or poor. All they have to do is get there. Now, one boy takes a train over 60 miles to get there, alone, because his mother's in jail and the grandfather he lives with is blind. The camp picks up his ticket. And Slam Dunk is not restricted to kids with type 1. Type 2 kids are welcome too. It is the only camp of its kind. Approximately 1,500 kids have been through Slam Dunk since it began, with about 300 kids coming to 5 camps this year. More than half return every year. Most that can't return is because of scheduling conflicts or age. Now, before they hit the court, everyone gets their levels checked. Now, some get help from the staff of educators or mom, but most do it themselves. Then the drills begin, and the kids, they go all out. The Slam Dunk coaches will tell you that these kids are different, that they have a different work ethic than the kids they teach in other camps. They never complain. They never say, "I can't." They never want to rest. But every 15 minutes or so, the chief instructor, Andrew Gibbons, who happens to have diabetes himself and is a great role model and resource for the kids, checks in and asks if anybody's low. Now, if so, the child is presented with a teachable moment that they are coached through to make smart decisions. Now, there are diabetes educators there to support the kids and help them think things through, like, you're a little low, you've been working really hard, and you have another hour out there. What should you take? Now, the child may have a juice box, rest, watch the clock, check again, and decide to get back out there or not. Now, this is real-life experiential problem solving and decision making. that stays with those kids. Now, one mother told the story of her son's refusing to play any sports before slam dunk because he had a history of hypoglycemic episodes. After slam dunk, he tried out for the school football team. Not only did he make it, but he didn't have one occurrence of hypoglycemia the entire year because of what he learned at the slam dunk camp. But one of the biggest lessons slam dunk kids learn is they're not alone. One mother spoke of her son's reluctance to go to the camp. He had become angry and withdrawn since his diagnosis and felt isolated. But she convinced him to go. And when they walked into the gym and he saw the over 120 kids there, he asked his mom, "Are you telling me all these kids have diabetes?" She nodded yes. He smiled ear to ear and ran onto the court. On the ride home and into the evening, he wouldn't take off his name tag. He comes to camp every year. Another mother, Tricia Cahill, says her son Gavin, 7, was also angry after his diagnosis and was embarrassed to check his sugar in front of others. The camp has made a huge difference. He has so much confidence now. He talks about diabetes and tells other kids about it. He no longer feels alone. Brenda's 7-year-old son, Brian, he's the only kid in his entire school with diabetes. She says he felt alone and removed. Here, he feels totally a part of things. He's not singled out like at school. Everybody has to stop for a snack, and nobody teases him. I am so happy for him. Angelique Crockett has been bringing her son Caleb to the camp since he was 7. He's now 15. Slam dunk has meant the world to Caleb and to me, she says. At 7, he was scared to death. He felt like a total outcast. I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Mom, I just want to be normal. Can't I just be normal?" I told him he was normal, but we just had to make a few adjustments. He's been coming to the camp for 8 years. It has meant the world to him. When he comes here, he's home. He is home. But perhaps the best way to convey what the camp means to the kids is to hear directly from them. Monica had the kids write their stories up, and they became a book entitled Pluck, Spunk, and Grit, Reflections from the Slam Dunk Camp. And it was filled with the kids' stories in their own words, and it is truly inspirational. Now, I want to share a small portion from one of the kids. It's from Dieter Haas, a 15-year-old with type 1 diabetes and a severe hearing impairment. He says, "Ever since that first year of camp, my life has changed dramatically. I look at my diabetes as a blessing. I now exercise every day, eat healthy, check my numbers, and take my insulin when needed. I am beyond blessed to have the opportunity to do this camp. And I know for a fact that this camp will continue its success in impacting and inspiring young kids and showing them that diabetes is never an excuse for anything in life."